You are listening to Gameday Tarps podcast with Riley, Dakota, and Dallas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gameday Tarps. This is episode 27. As always, I am Dallas. This is Riley, and with Dakota. As always, please hit the comment and like buttons, and it'd be greatly appreciated if you hit the subscribe button. All right, gentlemen, let's get into this.
Right off the top, another big retirement in the NFL, Aaron Donald. What are your guys' thoughts on that one?
Oh, it's a huge loss to the Rams for sure. I love Donald. I mean, I think he's still retired a little bit young, but guys with his caliber, he's probably just trying to save the body a bit before it's too late. I don't know. I love Donald. He's amazing, but now a lot of quarterbacks, they're gonna have some weight off their shoulders, I guess, playing the Rams. I believe so. Congratulations to him. He's got at least a Super Bowl to his name and a pretty prestigious career at that. So,
And
I honestly thought it was blindsided. I mean, I found out a week ago thinking, the Pittsburgh Panthers, they put out a post on Instagram. I thought they were just retiring his number for the Panthers, but no, it was just a congratulations on an illustrious career, well, to his NFL career at least. And yeah, it was just him saluting him to a great career and that he's actually retiring. So, damn. Maybe it came out of left field. Maybe some people speculated. I'm not too sure. But for me personally, I thought it was out of left field. So, yeah, I guess he's retired and congrats,
I
man.
wouldn't say it's out of left field. He's kind of teased it almost every season, and then he's just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to retire. But he's teased retirement like the last 3 or 4 seasons.
Well, even he was going to retire the year before they won the Super Bowl. Then he said, I'll stick it out. Then they won the Super Bowl. Then everyone was like, oh, he's definitely going to retire now. And then he's like, no, I'll go again. And then he's like, oh, I'll go one more time. And then I think he now just looks at the Rams roster and is like, this team's not going back to the Super Bowl. What's he going to risk? Injury? He's a multimillionaire, highest paid at his position in the NFL. Probably best at his position ever. So, realistically, what's he got left to do if he, breaks his neck or gets a super bad concussion that changes him like Michael Oher or something like that, right? There's more risk than reward for him.
I wouldn't say a neck injury is more the scariest part for him. It'd probably be more like ankles or lower body injury, I would assume.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like the worst end of the spectrum that could potentially happen. But you rarely see the neck injuries. But yeah, congrats to him because, again, probably the best to do it at his position in all of NFL history. Small little deal started off our week. We had Bruins sign Parker Wotherspoon to a 1-year $800K extension. And then we had a bigger deal. The Kraken had extended forward Jordan Eberle to a 2-year $9.5 million contract extension. And then Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet reported Friday the deal will carry an average annual value of $4.75 million. So not a bad payout for a guy who was potentially going to be traded. And a young guy who's kind of earned his spot in Boston this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I don't got too much to say about those guys, but what I am stoked for is both prospects that Calgary got in the Vancouver deal are now officially both signed to entry-level contracts. So that's cool to see. And then they signed another guy, Sam Morton, out of college.
Yep.
Who scored his first pro goal in the Wranglers. So I think he's got 2 points in 3 games, so he's not doing too bad for himself.
And you guys also re-signed Kevin Rooney to a 1-year, $1.3 million extension.
Yeah, that's minor details.
That is. But hey, you know what? You added him back.
I'd be happy losing Rooney, but
yeah,
just depth, I guess.
At least one of those prospects you signed was an American defenseman who actually stated that he would love to play in Calgary. So that's a first for you.
Yeah, actually, in his comment, he said that he didn't see himself getting much playing time in that lineup in Vancouver, and he thinks he's definitely going to get a good look in Calgary, and he's happy for that. So I mean, we'll see, right? It could just be his agent being like, you know what, like at least act happy. But I hope that that was true, and I hope he can kill it.
Yeah, and you guys, so your Sam Morton, he was a 1-year, 2-way contract at $950K. Starting next year, he's on a PTO in the AHL for the remainder of this season. And then you guys had Topi Rami, I believe who it was, or Topi Rani. Is that who it
Our
was?
second round in
Oh,
20.
sorry. No, Topi Rani is the guy who's
You
suspended.
mean Yoni Yermo?
Yeah, Yoni Yermo. They have like
Yeah.
the same name, just different. He's a 3-year or 2-year entry level at $850K. So good to see the Flames adding all
And
their
defense
pieces.
too, like both defensive depth. I mean, Calgary's just loading up on young defensemen, which I don't mind seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the whole Sam Morton, like the whole scenario that went down there. I think they
No.
tried signing him at one point, and then the league, I don't know, redacted the signing or said
Yeah.
no, and then I don't remember what went on there. I didn't read much into it, but they got him signed.
They probably just didn't fill out a certain part of the contract all the way or something, so the league just had to reject it. They just had to refill it out, I would guess. I didn't even see that though. That's just what I would think would happen as to why they'd say no. The Preds signed Fabro to a $2.5 million extension. We had Ottawa claim Boris Kachuk off waivers. Anaheim claim William Lagesson off waivers from Toronto. And Florida claim Bjornfoot from Vegas. So lots of moving parts right after the trade deadline there. Lots of signings, lots of moving parts for once the teams knew who their roster was and what it looked like. Bunch of Lightning news here right after, again, the trade deadline. We had Stamkos. He joined Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, Evgeny Malkin, and Patrick Kane as the only active players with 300 career multi-point games. So that was big for him. And then in that same game, Tampa had one of their kind of fringe defensemen, Darren Radish, who he kind of plays up and down as they need, but he jumped up the list for the fastest 3 points to start a game. He did it in 9 minutes and 10 seconds. So that's just about 3 minutes behind Noah Hannafin, who has the fastest of all time at 6 minutes and 29 seconds. So there's a bunch of guys in between, but Radish actually finished that game with 5 assists, which was a Bulls defenseman record, tying Pavel Kabina. And he's only the 33rd defenseman since 1950 to record 5 assists in a single game. So cool to see. And actually, I guess, was this year? Most assists in a game since 1988-89. He's tied with Torrey Krug and Adam Fox, right behind Chris Letang. So just a couple little things on someone who, like, I don't even think Darren Radish had like 10 points on the year, and then he went off for 5 assists in one game. So that was just kind of a wild night for him. But it's getting close to playoff season, boys. So now we don't know who's going to make it yet because it's such a cluster, but we do know who is not. The Chicago Blackhawks have officially been mathematically eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs and are leading the Macklin Celebrini race at the bottom.
You know what? I hope, just for league's sake, Celebrini doesn't go to Chicago. I want to see Celebrini in a San Jose's uniform. Oh, but it would be deadly seeing Bedard and Macklin. I don't want to see Chicago end up going down the same direction Edmonton had there for their 3 years in a row they had first round, or first pick, sorry.
I don't want to scare people, but there is very high potential. It ends up Connor Bedard, Macklin Celebrini, Gavin McKenna, Chicago.
That'd be disgusting,
3 years
dude.
in a row. Like, I just don't see this team getting
McKenna's
better.
26, bud.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be 3 years in a row.
But so 3 of the next 4 years. I mean,
buddy,
throw Misa in there.
Buddy, Calgary's going for the tank 26, bud.
Throw Misa in there, man. 25.
Calgary's going for the tank 26, bud. McKenna is coming to the Flames. You heard it here first.
Dude, they might just give McKenna exceptional status to the 2025 draft if he scores like 200 points next year because he's just so much better than everyone else.
Dude, McKenna, McKenna just set a record for the best 16-year-old rookie season as a draft minus 2 year player. And I think not only in Western Hockey League history, but he set a franchise record for the Medicine Hat Tigers as well. He is on pace for one of the best, if not the best, as a rookie in a draft minus 2 year season.
Yeah, his pace is unreal. Like, he's got the most points per game of any player his age, and everyone like was comparing him like to Bedard. Obviously, they're cousins and whatnot. But at the same time, Bedard played as a full 16-year-old his whole year. Gavin McKenna started as a 15-year-old for half the year, and then turned 16 and was 16 years old. Like, this kid's just insane with how good he is.
Oh, he's
And
probably going to be better than Bedard. You watch. I'll guarantee it.
I don't know. Bedard's pretty special. Like, Gavin McKenna's really talented, but Bedard is just special. I don't know. But he's an out-of-worldly talent for sure. Probably the best suspension I've ever seen happened since we last podcasted.
Good old Torts.
John Tortorella suspension. And part of this is on the refs. Like, he's giving it to the refs. I've heard people say, look, if you knew what Torts said, Torts deserved to get kicked out of the game. Fair enough. But on that night, in Tampa Bay, on the night they're celebrating the 2004 Stanley Cup team, which he coached, he's being honored, and he gets kicked out early in that game. Like, refs, try to have a little bit of, like...
Was that the night that he was like, I'm not leaving?
Yeah, I'm not leaving. Yeah. And the booth up in like the Tampa Bay booth with all the guys from the 04 team, they were just dying. They were just like, that's Torts. Like, just only Torts would get kicked out of a game he's being celebrated in. Like, just typical.
Did you guys see that he named Couturier captain, and then he's been healthy scratching him now?
Yep.
Like, what kind of message are you sending to the locker room, man?
Yeah, but have you seen how good they've been playing since they've done that?
That is true. But, obviously we know...
I'm with you, though, Dally. I'm with you. Like,
they know something we obviously don't know.
Yeah, like, look, he's coming back off a major... Like, here's the thing. In the media, he's saying, I'm not talking about Sean. As if immediately that points the direction of, like, Sean Couturier is no longer a good enough player to be in his top 12 forwards. When instead he should just be like, hey, look, Sean's coming back off this lengthy injury. He's only been back like a month or two. We're really trying to give him a break here to, catch back up to NHL speed. He missed like 2.5 years. It's understandable if Torts was like, look, the guy just has to ease back into this. Fair enough. Instead, he's not even protecting his captain. He's just like, I'm not talking about him. Basically saying, this guy's so crap. We're not going to play him. Yeah, we named him captain, but we aren't going to have him lead us out on the ice. Like, that's ridiculous. Even the Los Angeles Kings, when Dustin Brown was basically just a pile of dog crap on the ice, kept playing him and kept the C on him. Like, at some point, you just gotta respect that you named a guy captain and leave him in over some 19-year-old, in my opinion.
Well, there's obviously two sides to it. It's, he's probably trying to send a message out there, whether it be to him or to his own team. I mean, who knows? Maybe he went up to Sean and was like, yo, this is going to happen because I want to send a message to the team, and maybe he agreed to it. Nobody knows, but if they're going to be playing better and scared that they're going to be the next one benched, then why not, right? True. But, he could go out about it a little bit better instead of going to every interviewer saying, not answering your question, not answering your question. I already said I'm not answering your question. He could have, he could just keep saying, that's between me and Sean, or, we're just easing him back into the game. But it's Torts, though, so what can you do?
I saw one of the best digs on social media. It was from Frank Saravalli. He said, how typical. The coach who expects the most accountability out of his players not being accountable to his players. I was like, dang, Frank Saravalli. And that tells me that something deeper is going on here if Frank Saravalli's calling out Tortorella, because when I was listening to their podcast earlier in the year, he was pumped that Philadelphia signed Tortorella. He was like, he's going to help these young guys mold into NHL players. He's going to make this a good hockey team. And then as the year's gone on, look at Philadelphia. They're in the playoffs. He's been pumping them up all year. And for him to call out Torts like this tells me that he knows something behind the scenes that is actually as crappy as it sounds, just by speculation. Apparently.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, yeah, I really don't have a whole lot to comment on that situation. Obviously, we don't know much going on in there, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're doing what they can with obviously what's going on with the 2018 scandal, losing their number one goalie. And I mean, they're still playing hell of like great hockey still, so.
Yeah, kind of a blessing in disguise. Carter Hart wasn't playing very good, and then Sam Urson has come in, and he's just been like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Wait till they get Carson Bjornsson from the Brandon Wheat Kings. He's going to be an elite goaltender coming up for them.
Mhm. Yeah, he'll be a stud.
Good pickup in the draft by Philly.
Right when they really turn the corner, they'll be looking for that. This probably has to be like the worst news ever, man. I hate stuff like this. Ottawa Senators center Josh Norris has shoulder surgery and is out the rest of the season. Jack Martin reported Monday. It's the third surgery on his left shoulder. He's 24 years old and he only played 8 games last season. Like, I don't know if Josh Norris can come back and play hockey again.
He's going to be hurt in the unit.
But like, he played 8 games last year, popped his shoulder out. Yes, he came back in like December this year, and it's only March, and he's already gone and done it again. Like, how long until he decides, look, like I can't, like Oscar Klefbom in Edmonton. Oscar Klefbom separated the same shoulder 3 or 4 times, and he called it. He's like, nope, that's it. I can't keep doing this. I'm not going through the rehab every year. I'm not going to end up like 45 years old, basically having to amputate my arm because it doesn't even work. Like, at some point, you got to look at that.
Well, this reminds me of, like, I mean, just completely changing the sports here for a second, but same with Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
How many coaches tried getting him back in the league, and he's like, I can't even throw anymore. He's like, I have to throw left-handed.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be the same thing. He's not going to be able to have the full motion of his arm, so shots aren't going to be the same. He's going to be inaccurate. And it's just going to be tough for him to play hockey.
And he's a centerman, so he can't win faceoffs. He can't hit people. He can't get hit. Even blocking a shot in the arm could dislocate it. Like, there's just so many things that could happen.
And he's not going to be able to, try to knock someone off the puck. Can't give him a little shoulder tap because you might just end up injuring yourself again.
Exactly. Yeah, but I feel terrible. Like, he's 24 years old, and that's basically it. There's just no way. Like, luckily for him, he's on like an $8 million a year contract or whatever he's on. But as long as he doesn't retire, he just will stay on LTIR for the rest of his career and move on. I don't see a path to which he comes back to be a full-time NHL player. Unless they magically make a surgery that completely fixes your shoulders. But I don't get how you can do a knee surgery, you can do a hip surgery, all good, brand new hips, but you can't do a shoulder surgery and have it last. Shoulders are like the hardest thing to fix. It's weird. Not a doctor, so I have no idea. Another little injury, but nothing major. The Canucks will be without Demko for 2 to 4 weeks. That was about a week ago, so he's probably got about 2 weeks left on that. I think they're doing fine without him as is, but they'll definitely want him back come playoffs for sure.
No shit. What are they going to run? Casey DeSmith all playoffs? Like, buddy. Okay, like, he wasn't terrible in Pittsburgh. He was great when he was with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins in the AHL, okay? But when Pittsburgh got rid of him and he got shipped to Vancouver, well, he had more of a legitimate role in Vancouver now.
No, DeSmith didn't come from Pittsburgh to Vancouver. He came from
That was Montreal.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Pitt, yeah, sent him, I think, what was it, for Jeff Petrie, was it, that year? Or
Yeah,
Mike Matheson. Either one.
It was in that trade. It was the Petrie trade, the bigger one, I'm pretty sure.
So let me start over then. Yeah, so I'm just knowing from personal standpoints because, Penguins, I watched him a lot, and he wasn't that bad, backing up Jari or then Murray at one point too. But, I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, he's a great player. He's a good goaltender, but they can't rely on him as much as they can rely on Demko, right? Demko's your number one, and they desperately are going to need him come playoffs because the Western Conference this year is an absolute bloodbath, okay? Like, it is too strong, and there are too many hungry teams in the West that are going to want to just destroy your team come playoffs in a
Well, and
best of
what?
seven. Like, it's
Well,
anyone's
and
game out of the West.
Vancouver's downfall too is if Demko's not healthy come playoffs, and I don't see DeSmith helping that team make it even out of the first round unless
Yeah.
those forwards are hot. But I mean, if you have a hot Demko and a hot Vancouver team, like they're going to be insane. But I think Demko DeSmith healthy, better chance. DeSmith
And
but it's like DeSmith and who's going to be that third guy to help you, like
They don't even
Slavs or
have
whatever?
DPH. They don't even have DPHO anymore.
No, they have
Mikey
like
DiPietro,
they
what a
have
lad.
Slavs, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, but like if you're getting 10 goals scored against you in the preseason, I mean, again, I guess that was against like an NHL Flames team, but I just
Still.
don't see a goalie like that helping you come playoffs.
And
No.
here's the thing, right? This is just common knowledge. Okay, everyone knows that regular season and then playoffs are a totally different animal. But for
Yeah.
Casey DeSmith, he does not have on his resume enough playoff experience. All right, because when he was in Pittsburgh, who was starting? Jari and Murray. Okay, those were your number one guys starting the playoffs. Montreal, who was starting? He didn't
Hey,
even see
Dal,
any playoffs in Montreal. Hey, Dak,
what's your argument on Matt Murray then?
talked about this on Friday. He is taking shots. He's facing shots at practice now for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I
No, no,
really,
no,
really
no, no,
wish.
no, 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 no.
Please.
From Pittsburgh, buddy.
Please play him,
You
Toronto.
are roasting DeSmith right now. I mean, I personally don't think he's going to be a good playoff goalie, but Matt Murray wasn't considered a playoff goalie, and then boom, he helped win the cup.
Matt Murray is the best goalie in Pittsburgh
Okay,
Penguins
so
history.
maybe you're not understanding. I'm not roasting DeSmith. I'm just saying from his resume standpoint, in Montreal for that short stint, he didn't see any playoff time. In Pittsburgh, there were other guys who were in that starting role where he has not been able to have any starting playoff time. So for him, it's going to be a totally new ball game, and he might be nervous or he might be, absolutely fucking nuts. But I'm just saying, from past experience, he hasn't had that chance yet. But now for Vancouver, he's going to. And if Demko ain't ready, he's gonna really need to step up. He might be the guy. He might come in clutch for them, but he might get way too shaky in there, and he might just blow a gasket for them and not be able to be their backstopper.
I think
That's all I'm
Demko
saying.
will
I'm not
be
trying to
there.
roast a guy.
I think DeSmith will be just fine, dude. I think being on Pittsburgh probably mentally prepared him for moments like that.
True.
Yeah,
Matt Murray was a nobody,
he was.
and then he became one of the best goalies on that team.
I remember
Same-
a game.
Go
I
ahead.
remember a game in September of 2015. I went over to across the river to the Joe Louis Arena, and it was a preseason game against the Pens and the Red Wings. Okay, the two goalies that showed up in Detroit that day were Jari and Murray, and I thought to myself, "Where's Fleury? What the fuck? I'm gonna be watching either Murray or Jari going up in net." And Murray killed it. Murray killed him. That was his very first ever preseason action game, and the rest is history. So I thought it was nuts. But with the Smith, I've only ever seen him backed up once, and that was with Tristan Jarry in 2019, live again in Detroit, but at Little Caesars. But I just want to credit it out there that he's a good goalie, but I feel like I said, different animal. He may or may not be up to the test because he hasn't had that chance yet to play in the playoffs. Matt Murray, however, yes, he has. He had the veteran experience in Fleury to help him. Mind you, Fleury was injured, and he had to step in.
Murray got carried to the playoffs and then helped carry them in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. And then in 2017, they're like, you know what? Let's go with Murray because you know what? Because of the cup last year in 2016, he might be able to do another Cinderella run, which Jordan Binnington never been able to do.
Here's the reality, though. I would have went with Murray, too, because, look, I love Marc-Andre Fleury. All right, fantastic goaltender. But how many important games has Marc-Andre Fleury actually won in his career? Went to Vegas, led them to the Stanley Cup Finals, and it was Leonard who went in when they ended up losing, but it was Leonard who played in the playoffs. because they didn't want to play Fleury. Like, Fleury's always pulled in the playoffs. I don't know what it is. They're like, yeah, he's all right, and then they just yank him, and they're like, here's the next guy. Always.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Not to drag this on, but quickly, I'll tell you. Fleury, he has had some important games, okay? But
Only
there's
in
very
09.
few. He's done it in 09 at the Joe Louis Arena, where they were able to beat the Red Wings. He won it with Team Canada. That was another big challenge for him too. Okay,
Wasn't that
but
Bobby Lou in net? The gold? Wasn't
in
that
03?
Luongo? Oh, the World Juniors. Yeah. Okay,
Yes, yeah. No, not Olympics. Yeah, World Juniors, World Juniors. So he was with Team Canada. Okay, but then Fleury has been just getting bombarded in the playoffs. It's always been the New York Rangers being the Penguins' number one nemesis through 2012 to 2015, and then so on and so forth from 2016-17. They were able to overcome that hurdle, but it wasn't Fleury anymore. Fast forward with Vegas, then it was Washington. Fast forward now with Chicago, really nothing. Fast forward with Minnesota, well, we'll see, right? If they get into the playoffs this year. So, I mean, he's a
they're done.
phenomenal person, but
Minnesota's
I
toast.
really think he needs the help to help him push to to get there. But he can do it. Fleury, I don't know, God knows how old he is right now, okay? But he's one of the most winningest goalies in NHL
39.
history. 39, fucking hell. He's still going. So,
Yeah. Talk about old guys here. One of the best quotes I think I've ever heard from anyone is Sharks Logan Couture right after the trade deadline, because there was talks about Couture being traded. He said, "I'm realistic. I'm not sure who's going to trade for a guy who's 35, makes $8 million a year, and plays 6 games in a year." Like, just toasts himself. But I love it.
yeah,
At least he was realistic. He's like, yeah, no one's going to trade for me.
easiest money.
I mean, the consolation is living in San Jose. That's not necessarily bad.
Yeah, you're not necessarily losing. I mean, you're losing standing-wise, but you're not necessarily losing.
But you're making $8 million and getting
I'm
taxed.
pretty sure the state taxes are pretty fucked down there.
Yeah, they are. But, dude, still $4 million at the end of the day.
Still.
And Brendan Lemieux got a quick 1-year $775K extension as well from the Hurricanes. And they announced the Global Series, which is going to be returning. It's going to feature the Sabres, Devils, Stars, and Panthers. It's going to be in Prague, Czechia, October 4th and October 5th. Stars and Panthers will do a pair of games in Tampere, Finland on November 1st and 2nd, and then the Sabres will visit Red Bull Munich in an exhibition game September 27th. So, good to see the Global Series making a return yet again. It's always a popular and positive thing over in Europe to grow the game over there, so it's awesome.
And it's always best to send the teams with the most guys representing the certain countries that they're visiting, right? You know,
Yeah.
you got the most Finnish players returning overseas with these teams, so it'll be good.
Yeah. I mean, this might be my favorite news of this entire thing. There is a new entrant, this is per Elliot Friedman, revealing its desire for NHL expansion. Broadcaster Anson Carter unveils Alpharetta Sports and Entertainment Group wishing to bring a team back to the Atlanta area. And I love it. I love it. Bring it back.
No. You're going to fail ×3, man. Guaranteed.
No, what they're showing for their
They have the
idea
Gladiators,
is
leave it.
awesome.
No,
But
dude.
an ECHL team? No.
It's the
That's
same-
all they need, bud.
It's the
what?
same thing with
That's all they
Brampton,
need.
Ontario, man. They don't need it.
There's
It
a lot
ain't
of people
lasting.
there.
It ain't going to last.
I think
I
bet you
promise you it won't
this time,
last.
this third time, it's-
Dude, Winnipeg's failing. I promise you Atlanta's going to fail.
it's gonna happen.
No.
Atlanta's coming back. I feel like they
No.
won't be the Thrashers though, and I'll be heartbroken, and then I'll be like, you know what, shouldn't have came back. But if they're the Thrashers, I'm all in, 110%.
Like, you got to respect that financially as a business standpoint. Like, they're trying to grow the game, but you've tried twice already and it didn't work. Why try a third time and just lose on it, right? But the board of directors, the general managers of the league, they have to approve of it, right, first. So, I mean, are they going to approve that? Like, are we going to waste our time again on a third time trying to revive this god awful hockey franchise in Atlanta? when we can just stick with having an ECHL team there that's just doing just fine. Give new opportunity to new markets that haven't had that chance yet, okay? Let them prove themselves to the NHL and to hockey fans that they are worthy, such as Salt Lake City, Houston. Bring back the Houston Aeros, for God's sakes. Bring back the Hartford Whalers, for all I give a fuck. Atlanta does not need another NHL franchise. I'm done.
But again, man, we talked about this like every time this comes up. It comes down to who has the money and who wants the team and where they want it. Salt Lake's definitely getting a team. Like, there's no question the state of Utah is getting a hockey team, which is fantastic. It should. I'm pumped for that. It's going to be a brand new team. It sounds like if Arizona fails their bid to get this land, so they've successfully been entered in the bid to bid for the land, but if they get outbid and they lose, the Coyotes will be allowed to play next year because it'll be too short of a time frame to replace them. But that will probably be the final season of the Arizona Coyotes in the National Hockey League, and they will be moved most likely to Salt Lake. So Salt Lake is on watch for either they're becoming the Arizona Coyotes or they're becoming a new franchise, probably starting 2 years from now, regardless, whichever it's going to be. So Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah is definitely on watch, but I'm all for Atlanta. I mean, and that's where the money is. Anson Carter, he works at TNT Studios, which is in Atlanta. He has business people there. It says right here, it's the largest in Alpharetta where they're going to build it. It's the largest hockey playing community in Metro Atlanta. Area will be part of a visionary development at the North Point Mall site that will also include an outdoor stadium for soccer or lacrosse, as well as hotels, dining options, and more. So they're going to make like a plaza around this arena so that it's not just going to be an arena. And obviously it's going to host events like concerts and all sorts of stuff, which is going to be big in like the country music scene because lots of guys are from Georgia, and in the rap scene as well because Atlanta's huge in the rap scene. So it's going to be big for venues. It's just going to be like, hopefully the hockey team can also sustain throughout, which they might not, but
Fun
I
fact.
think they will.
Atlanta Airport is the busiest in all of North America too. Not to give them any credit for the hockey NHL franchise here, but fun fact for you out there.
That's
They have the
another thing,
busiest
though.
airport, so it's a lot of traffic coming in for people to come watch, perhaps, but I'm not going to encourage it.
Yeah, that's just the other thing.
They're not Vegas.
No,
They're not tourist based for sure. What are you coming to Atlanta for? To watch the Falcons? That's it, or the Atlanta Braves?
Does anyone really go to Atlanta to watch the Falcons though?
Mm,
Or the Braves?
maybe not.
Maybe the Braves. A couple years ago, the
now.
Braves. Yeah, they might now. But the Braves a couple years ago.
Oh, dude, don't ever hit on the Atlanta Braves, man. They are clutch. They're a good baseball franchise, one of the best in all of MLB. They've been there for a long time. Georgia is a great baseball and college sports haven. They love their baseball and their football down there, but hockey maybe not so much.
Never know, man. Get those people skating. Never know what can happen.
Hashtag say no to the Thrashers.
That's fine. They can be the Atlanta whatevers. It doesn't matter. They're still coming to Atlanta.
Atlanta Flames?
Calgary just changes their name. Just did. Yeah, you know what? They can have the Flames back. They become the Calgary Thrashers.
No, dude, just full-time Calgary Wranglers, NHL and AHL team.
Or you know what? Let's just be the Blasties. Calgary Blasties. Then that logo just lives forever.
Well, Blasty is the mascot for the Wranglers.
Yeah. So sure. Wranglers. I missed this though when we were talking about the Flames a minute ago, is that they did effective immediately release or renounce the rights to prospect Toppy Ronnie. So I said Toppy Ronnie was this defender they signed. I was wrong.
He's a center.
He is gone.
No, they drafted. He was their highest draft pick in 2022.
Yep. Very unfortunate. That's a waste.
That's a second rounder.
Did you take that pick before Logan Stankoven?
What?
What year was Stankoven? 2020 or 2021?
21.
Never mind. Okay, sorry. Because I know you guys passed up to draft Stankoven in that draft.
No, Stromgren was our pick that year.
That would have been even more insult to injury if it was Ronnie.
That would be tough.
Yeah. This was crazy to me. I could not believe this. Jason Robertson hit 300 career points. I was like,
That's
he's
it?
young. No, like he's young. That like think of how many years Jason Robertson's been in the league. Not that many. And to already be at 300 points, like okay, McDavid just hit 800. Think
He's
about
what,
how many years.
2016?
Yeah, but how many years has he been in the league? 3, 4, and he's already at 300. And
I don't know.
McDavid's only just under 900. Like that's what blew my mind. I was like, McDavid's at like
Wasn't
900, and this kid's already at 3.
wasn't Jason Robertson the 2017 draft though?
Even better.
It was
Whatever.
either 16 or 17, I don't know. But they had
When they got the
good
three of
players
them?
that year, yeah.
Yeah. But I just thought like that's crazy. Because it Hintz, Heiskanen, and
No, it was
Audie, buddy.
Ottinger,
right,
Robertson.
Heiskanen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, I was just like, that's wild. 300 points already? That's good for him. Dallas over here. That's it? Roasting the poor guy.
Buddy, Robo should have been like just killing it more. Like just the amount of production this guy does, like that's it. Like, dude, I thought he'd be at least 400.
Dude, he's only like
400 or
100
500
behind Jamie Benn. Not really, but like, if you put his career against Jamie Benn's, like he's light years ahead of Jamie Benn already.
And he will be when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Former Victoria Grizzly, what's up?
Clone a rocket, too.
Well, yeah, before he was a Victoria Grizzly, and then he became a Kelowna Rocket. But
yeah, I forget who he
love
played
Jamie
for,
Benn.
but He played in every developmental Western Hockey League in Canada. Played in the KIJHL, the BCHL, the WHL, and then he went. So he's just played all the way through. Leafs give Bobby McMahon a 2-year extension with a 1.35 average amount. And I put this in here because I thought this was hilarious, just from, again, a Tampa standpoint, being a fan. So it was the most goals from a Quebecois in the Cap era. They are Vinny Lecavalier with 52, Simon Gagne 47, Marty St. Louis 43, Simon Gagne again 41, Vinny Lecavalier 40, and Jonathan Marchessault now at 37. And I was just like, hey, fun fact, all 5 of those guys played for Tampa at one point in their careers. All the best Quebecois players in the league. So I was like, hey, that's pretty sick. But yeah, pumping up Marchessault because honestly, as like an unsigned kid, I remember trading Dana Tyrell from Tampa to Columbus for this kid named Jonathan Audie Marchessault. And I was like, who the heck is this guy? Do you think Marchessault doesn't fit on his jersey? He has 2 last names. And I was like, this guy sucks. Like, we're never going to play him. And all of a sudden, 2 years later, he's playing like 4th line for Tampa, and then he signs with Florida and just goes crazy. I was like, oh, okay.
I thought
the same when you guys had Tyler Johnson. I was like, this guy blows, dude. And then all of a sudden, he's an all-star.
Yeah.
Dude, just think, man.
Does that.
Toronto gave up on Carter Verhaeghe way too quick.
So
and he's killing it for Florida.
He was on Tampa. Tampa traded for him from Toronto, and then he chose not to sign with Tampa because he was on the 4th line. And then he scored 50 goals the next year for Florida.
He went to the east side of Florida in Sunrise, and he's like, yep, just going to kill it too.
Still no cup wins, though. Poor guy.
He was close.
He was. He left the year that we got swept in 2019. He went to Florida then. Bedard made some Blackhawks history. He was the only rookie with a 5-point game in the last 70 years. So good for him. He had 1 goal, 4 assists. Little news as he keeps climbing up this rookie ranking. See if he's going to win the trophy after he was out for so long. I figured we'd talk about this quick. Just a little snippet. We got the top 12 UFAs now that the trade deadline is over, and we have seen guys get extended. We have Sam Reinhart, Jake Gensel, Brandon Montour, Elias Lindholm, Noah Hannafin, Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, Matt Duchene, Brett Pesce, Tuvo Teravainen, Tyler Toffoli, and Dylan DeMello.
Do you guys
it's going to be big.
Do you guys want to have a guess where you see some of these players going, or
Let's do it. Let's just start at the top. Sam Reinhart, leave or stay?
They're going to want to lock him down. I'm saying stay.
I think stay, but it's going to be a
Same.
tight cap. I think they're going to have to make room for him, but I think their top priority is going to be locking him down.
Same.
10 plus for sure.
We'll keep it in Florida here. Jonathan Mars. Oh no, sorry, he's in Vegas. Sorry, we were just talking about him there. Never mind. Let's go to Jake Gensel in Carolina. Oh, sorry, I'm on tour. Look at me, stupid.
But you said stay in Florida.
Stay in Florida. You're right. No, you're right. I'm on tour. Stay or go.
I could see him being a guy that they're willing to risk leaving, so I'm gonna say go.
Same. I think he had one fantastic year. Unfortunately, it was not his contract year, and this year he's showing that he's still kind of just Brandon Montour. Like, not anything super special.
I say if they don't see him really much in the playoffs, that they could potentially be trading him by draft day or at draft day.
Yep.
So, and it could be another sign-in trade somewhere else, but I'm going to say leave too.
Yeah.
They've already got their top D figured out, so.
To keep Reinhardt, they're going to have to let him go.
Because he's going to want a lot too, right? Florida's the top team in the East right now, so he's going to want to be at least $6 million.
This is going to be crazy. Reinhardt's getting 10. 10 by 6. He's getting 6 years, 10 mil. I'm calling it.
Well, that's what I said earlier. I said 10 plus minimum.
You know what?
There's no way.
I'm even going to say 9.5. If it's Florida, he's willing to take 9.5. Anywhere between 9.5, 10.5.
Yeah. He's definitely getting up there, though. Just with what everyone else is getting paid. He wins face-offs. He scores goals.
Well, I just think if he's a guy that is willing to be like, okay, I want to be here long term, your taxes are fine. I say he accepts an $8-9 million contract. I guarantee it. So
true.
Literally zero income tax.
Yeah, 10 mil might be steep, but I could. Yeah, I'm gonna say 9.5.
Okay, we got 2, 3. Oh, or Carolina, man. This is
they
Carolina's
lap band. They have 13.
But they have 3 on this list, and really the 3 that matter. So Jake Gensel, stay or go.
Leave. There's no way. I'm just gonna say if they want to lock down Teravainen, Natchez, Brady Shea, and a couple of their other RFAs as well, not UFA but RFA, they're gonna have to let him walk. Jake is not gonna be settling for anything less than 8 after the season. There's no way in hell.
Well, you know what? Me personally, I can see Pesci leaving.
He's gone.
I could even see Teravainen leaving. If you want to lock down Gensel, Teravainen's gone.
Oh yeah,
but
Gensel's better than Teravainen.
That's what I mean. So, but I've seen rumblings that maybe he's going to make a return to Pittsburgh already. So, which is kind of crazy, but I don't know. I want to say maybe he'll stay, but they're gonna let some key pieces walk.
I think no matter what happens, Jake Gensel goes all the way to free agency just to see what's actually out there for him. Who's willing to just
will probably
throw
snag him for God knows what reason.
Well, no, Vegas is capped now. They actually finally have topped themselves out. Like there's no saving them now. But I think Tuvo stays. That's my guess. I think because they're going to get him at a lower figure. They like to keep guys at like 6-7 million on the cap hit and then load their team and fill it out with low cap guys. So I think that Tuvo stays at like 7. Pesci, they've been talking about trading. I think they let Pesci go and they lose Gensel because he wants more money somewhere else.
More money, or he wants to win.
Yeah.
Carolina could be in a totally different boat if they didn't try to play a joke with Montreal and try to offer sheet RFA Jesper Kotkaniemi, man. They thought it was a joke, and then now they're stuck with them. If they should never have done that, and you could have had how much cap space available for you to pick up guys. But no, what a waste of money that was.
But they lowered Kotkaniemi's cap after that 8 year, or 8 million. He's only on like 4 million now, isn't he?
I didn't see anywhere where he was restructured.
No, it wasn't
restructured, just re-signed.
Yeah, so he got signed when they signed him from Montreal. It was a 1 year, $8 million deal, and then he re-signed after that as an RFA with them for $4 million, I think. Look that up if you want to. I
Gotta
think
look
that's
this
where
up.
he's at. While you do that, we'll jump onto Elias Lindholm,
Leaves.
and he's gone.
Leave.
100% leave Vancouver.
He's
Yeah.
gone. Don't be surprised. Hold up here. Don't be surprised. Carolina doesn't sign some of their guys. They
And
look to
gets
get Elias
Lindholm
Lindholm
back.
back. He's a good centerman.
Yeah, but Boston's going to be looking at him hard too.
Oh yeah, Boston. They're gonna want him for sure.
Hannafin, Vegas, I think leaves.
Tampa.
But
He's
you
on a
know what?
4.8.
In
Yeah, 4.8. Yeah. Yeah, he
but like
re-signed for lower.
you know what? In that case though, like I think Calgary wins that trade if Hannafin leaves Vegas this year.
Oh, for sure. But again, the Hurdle trade literally made it so he's gone. Because so is Jonathan Marchessault, who's right here as well. He's also gone. Because they don't have any cap now. As soon as Mark Stone comes back, it's over.
Vegas is literally playing the hell or high water card right now. Like, they don't care if they're going to lose these guys. They want to literally win now. So we'll let them walk. You know what? If they're cap strapped to no end, they're going to say, well, whatever, we tried.
Smart
went all
thing
in.
Vegas could do, I could see Vegas doing something really smart and finding a spot for Alex Pietrangelo to land. Like, trade him. Get Pietrangelo off the books. Keep Hannafin.
I mean, honestly, if Vegas is smart, dude, they try to keep older guys under 30 and then trade them when they're early 30s high, and then they have the draft picks. They're still competitive.
Yeah.
I think if Vegas is smart, they do that. But, I mean, yeah, if you can trade Pietrangelo, get rid of Marchessault, lock down Hannafin, trade William Karlsson, maybe.
Marchessault is their leading goal scorer, though. Like, I think they need to keep him and find someone else on the roster to move out. Like, again, Alec Martinez, he makes like 4 or 5 mil. McNabb makes 4 or 5 mil. Like, their defense has spots. If they keep Hannafin, they have Shea Theodore, they have Whitecloud. They kept Hag somehow from Calgary. Like, all these guys, they have like 8 defensemen deep. McNabb's like 34. Martinez is like 37. Petrangelo's 35. Like, those guys could easily be traded off, bring the young guys in, and they'll still have 60, which is ridiculous.
Is Zach Whitecloud still there?
Yeah. Whitecloud's still, he's just been injured all year.
Oh.
He's still there. And Whitecloud and Hag are literally the reason why they won the cup last year. It was because that pair was able to take on other pairs, other forward lines, and not be taken advantage of, like most third pair D. Steven Stamkos.
I'm gonna say it, dude. Gone. I say gone. If
Okay.
Hannafin's if Hannafin's going to Tampa, Stamkos is gone.
Let me just put on my EA Sports NHL
franchise mode on rookie.
Franchise mode hat on rookie. All right. Tampa can. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna quickly say stay. Like, the longtime captain. Like, they're gonna try every way they can to just keep him. I don't see him walking. He'll probably take a team-friendly deal too. He's probably gonna want to retire a Lightning. So
yeah.
No. So but before you go into yours, can I explain why I think he's gonna go?
Yep.
This has happened to him once already in his career, where Tampa didn't go into contracts talks with him all season long.
Yep.
And they've done that once to him, and everyone thought he was going to Toronto, and then he re-signed. I don't see him doing that again.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to a respect thing. Like, you guys show no interest all season long to get a deal done. I say Stamkos says F you this time.
True. They could. My thoughts are, when I view things in a video game, okay, prefix side in a video game, but they have a lot of guys come off the books this year. They have, here, let me pull it up. But 2 things I know need to happen are, you need to trade Tanner Jeannot in his 2.6 mil, and you have to trade Connor Sheary in his 2 mil to open up like $4.5 million in cap. That has to happen. You can't do it if you don't start with that. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't trade those 2 guys. You don't get basically $5 extra million cap, and it's just not doable. Guys that are on 1-year deals are Anthony Duclair, Tyler Mott, Austin Watson. So Mott and Watson, you let go. They're fourth liners. They haven't really contributed too much. You have some young guys ready to push the roster. Calvin DeHaan, Hayden Fleury, 1-year deals, taking up cap for no reason. Matt Dumba, he's there. I would love to re-sign Matt Dumba, but I'd rather Stamkos. But then in the minors, we have guys like Philip Myers. Philip Myers is making $1.4 million in the minors. He's actually got a $2.275 million cap hit if he's in the NHL. So, like, a lot of these guys can be moved on and shipped out, and that opens up. Plus, if the cap goes up $4 million, you get about, I think it's $13 million in cap space. I think Tampa will have. So if they lose Dumba, they sign Stamkos to like 7, and if Hannafin is willing to come in for like 6, because there's no state tax, so he makes what he makes now, but he makes double because of no state tax. He gets to keep double. So, but if he doesn't, even better. If Hannafin doesn't want to come, he changes his mind, whatever. You have Stamkos, definitely tons of room for Stamkos. You have room to hopefully sign Duclair, because can I just say this? Duclair just scored again a minute ago. That is 7 points in 7 games for the Lightning. He is clicking on that top line with Point and Kucherov. This is someone that they need to seriously consider. Matt Dumba, not so much. He's kind of playing on the third line. Block shots, kind of does his job, but I'm not too worried on if they lose Dumba. But Duclair and Stamkos should probably be their 2 priorities. I just think this team will fold without Stamkos. They just rally around him so much as their leader. He's been so involved in everything that the team does. Even though he wasn't playing in the playoffs when they won the Cups that much, he was the guy. He went to the bubble even though he played literally like 4 minutes of ice time. He sat in the bubble the entire time with them when they won their first Cup. Like, that just shows what kind of a leader. He could have went home at any time. He could have been like, you know what, boys, I'm going to go rehab in Tampa, not have to be away from my family. His wife just had a baby at that point, so it was like he wasn't with his newborn. I think the guys, they gravitate towards that, and I think that's why he's arguably their most important player to keep, just because he keeps his team in the hunt. But it's doable. To me, it's doable, but you have to trade Sheary and you have to trade Jeannot. Trade, I'm not even kidding, package a pick. It can be a second, it can be a third. Like, pay the punishment for signing these 2 bad deals, but don't let it cost you 2 to 3 more years. Get rid of them now. Don't worry about the draft picks, because that's just a waste. If you want to win with these guys, it's now. The next 3 years. That's all they got. They only got 3 years left in this core.
Then they're all saying stay.
I'm saying stay.
Yep.
Nice. I'm the only one saying go. Nice.
But the thing is, you're just as correct saying go as you are saying stay. Like, because he could.
It's a very valid point.
Be pissed. He could be pissed. He announced he was pissed. It's just he hasn't said anything since. So have they patched that relationship? That's the question. If they haven't, I think you're right.
Or you know what? He's just a professional. And he's like, you know what? It's still a job at the end of the day. I get paid to do this, so you know what? Maybe he's just professional about it.
My counter argument to him being pissed is not wanting to move his family. His young kids, move them out of Tampa, move them away from all his friends, which are all his teammates' kids. Well, I think that's my argument.
Not just his family, but like the relationships he's built with the core of that team still too, mm-hmm. Right? Like, it's gonna be a hard decision, but
like I always say, dude, like, I want to live in Tampa when all these guys retire, because that core group of guys that's gonna come back, like over the All-Star break, who was it that went on vacation? Stammer, Hetty, Palat, Johnson, McDonough, like Maroon. These guys are all traded. They're not even on this team, whatever. They battle versus each other, but they still go on vacation together. They all still have their homes in Tampa. Tampa is going to be full of these guys just hanging out when they're retired, and it's going to be so sick. But Matt Duchene.
Go. I say go because you make room for Stankoven and to sign more depth after that.
Can I argue trading Seguin to keep Duchene?
I would concur.
Now,
if you can make that happen, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I think
isn't he making
Duchesne's a
10?
better player than Sagan is on that team.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer this year. So I think if you're Dallas, you go, okay, Duchesne, he's kind of the guy. But man, Duchesne, I don't know. I think Duchesne loves to be a floater. He loves to like find new teams. He's just like, yeah, I'll go here.
Come back to Colorado.
No,
I wouldn't mind him in Calgary, to be honest, but we
I
already
don't
got
think
too many bad contracts.
there would be no team in the NHL that would say, no, we don't want Matt Duchesne. Like, you know what? 2 years ago, absolutely. Matt Duchesne was on absolute decline. This year,
Well, especially in Columbus and Ottawa, I'd say.
yeah,
Specifically Ottawa.
yes. Ottawa, when he got traded to Nashville, that was like for peanuts, essentially. Like, that was the kind of like, move him out. We're done with Matt Duchesne. When Ottawa was doing their, trading everyone who's won Stanley Cup since then phase. Last two. Oh, both Jets too, right? DeMello's a Jet, isn't he? Dylan DeMello?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think so.
Him and Tyler Toffoli, both from the Jets. I think they keep Toffoli.
DeMello, go.
I say go. I could see Toffoli going.
Yeah, I was like, here's the thing. I can see Toffoli not wanting to be there, but I could see them throwing the money at him to stay. Like, I can't imagine being anyone, like, literally there's multiple LA guys now, but going from Los Angeles, California, and then having to be forced to live in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Dude,
I just
Toffoli's almost hit every Canadian market.
He's crazy.
At this point, I'd make that a goal. I'd be like, let's go for Edmonton right now.
Dude, him in Edmonton would be nuts.
Oh, dude. Hyman, Toffoli, McDavid, like, that would just be nuts, dude. They'd have scoring, like, everywhere.
Literally. Get rid of Connor Brown, sign Toffoli.
But yeah, I don't know. I could see Toffoli going just as, like, he's just like, whatever. It's what it is kind of thing. Is Monahan's contract up this year too, then?
Yes. Because he only signed a 1-year deal with
He should stay.
Montreal. Yeah. I think
he should stay.
I think if he's willing to take a pay cut, he comes back to Calgary. Just saying.
I would love to see him back in Calgary.
So would I, dude. Trade Kadri. I mean, no disrespect to Kadri, but trade Kadri.
No disrespect to Kadri, but go fuck yourself, Kadri.
But Kadri's in a win situation, so
yeah,
does he want to stay? Yeah, does he want to stay and help this young core, or does he want to win? And I feel like Kadri's he wants to be a winner. So
guy scores 1 goal 1 time to win 1 Stanley Cup, and he's like, I'm a perennial winner. All I do is win. I can't be on a losing team. It's like, you were on the Maple Leafs, and you were the reason they lost 3 years in a row.
And you were a London Knight. Get out of here. We don't want you.
Yeah, but he's won with London. Yeah, he won with London.
He won with London.
Tough.
Yeah, only one of 2 Memorial Cups in their entire franchise. So, you guys suck.
So he's 50% of their success.
Literally 50%, but still London Knight.
I mean, look at the rosters that they had back then, though.
05 was a good roster.
One of their 2. Like, I like their more recent one roster. You got Kachuk, Marner, Dvorak. Yeah, it was insane.
My favorite was Seth Griffiths and Namestnikov on the top line. I love that London Knights team.
Tough when Seth Griffith was considered good.
Oh, he was. Him and Namestnikov were insane. Once upon a time. Let's jump right on over to Sam Cosentino's updated 2024 NHL Draft Prospect Rankings. It has changed at the top a little bit. Obviously, Macklin Celebrini, Chicago Blackhawk already. We know about that. There's Anton Saleyev, Ivan Demidov, and Artyom Levshunov. I think one of them's from Belarus, but that's basically, 2 Russians and a Belarusian at the top there. Like, they're really making a difference in the last couple of years, considering that Matvei Mishkov is considered the number 1 prospect not in the NHL right now, as well in all the NHL teams.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what you got to factor in for these guys. Because a lot of these guys are CHL boys. The playoffs are going to start this Friday, okay? and their draft stock is going to be obviously determined on how the rest of the season goes, right? Up until June, beginning of June. Like for a guy like Zane Perrick, Caden Lindstrom, Berkeley Catton, all of those guys are playoff bound right now for the respective leagues, okay? I personally can see Caden Lindstrom, Zane Perrick, and Berkeley Catton all going top 10. Don't be surprised if you see Zane Perrick going top 5 as a defenseman.
Yeah, so they do have two they have Saleyev, the defenseman, and Levshunov, the defenseman. Oh, and Carter Yaremchuk, all in the top 5. Sam Dickinson of London is 6. Berkeley Catton is 7. Zeev Buium. Actually, I heard it the other day announced. I think it was like Buium or Buium, something like that, however they pronounce it. Zane Perrick is 9. And Caden Lindstrom is 10. But here's my thing. I think Berkeley Catton... Wait, is Spokane in the playoffs, or are they just trash?
Nope, they got the 8th seed and they're playing the number 1 seed in the West in Prince George. They're about to get steamrolled.
If Berkeley Catton carries that team versus Prince George,
it's not even carries. It's even if they come remotely, like if they make it a tight series, I could still see him climbing.
I don't think it will be, but
here's the thing though. It wasn't just Berkeley Catton. Like that whole top line for Spokane has been absolutely dominant. Chase Bertholet, Connor Roulette, and Berkeley Catton. Connor Roulette also had a 100-point season plus this season, along with Berkeley Catton. So that whole top line for the Chiefs are nuts. But
in
they're going
terms
to
of
put
his
up a bit of a
draft
fight.
talk, I don't know. I hate saying this because literally Tampa Bay is built off Russians, but I just don't trust taking a Russian in the top 5. There's two. They could just not come over. You never know. And
how many of those Russian defensemen's points do they have?
I think Saleyev, I don't know. They're good. I mean, Ivan Demidov, if you watch Ivan Demidov's highlights, the right winger, I think he goes second. Ivan Demidov is so sick. Like, he's unreal. He's like a Russian Patrick Kane. He has insane hands on him, from what I've seen. This kid is just constantly blowing by everyone with his speed, and then he's just making moves left, right, and center. He's not much of a pure sniper. He's just more of like quick hands and acceleration, and he's super skilled.
Well, I'll tell you what, Zane Perrick was able to put up in 66 games, 96 points as a defenseman.
Yeah, he's good. But I don't think that gets him top 5. Like, I love Zane Perrick. I think he's going to be so sick. But is he only offensive? Can he play defense at the NHL level? That's what matters. I've seen some highlights because it is the NCAA playoffs right now. Zeev Buium is a heck of a player. Like, so talented. And not just offensively, he is so good defensively as well. So I could see Zeev Buium being the first defenseman taken off the board if teams want to stay in North America with their draft pick. But Zane Perrick, man, like I know what you're saying. Like, it's unreal numbers. It's just, it's so hard to score in pro. And then if he doesn't have scoring, does he have defending? And if he doesn't have defending, what is he?
He's a pretty damn good defender.
I hope so.
He's got more hype around him than Olin Zellweger. Like, he makes Olin Zellweger look like an amateur.
Yeah, but Zelly's already proved he can transition to pro.
Perrick's no question. Of course. But as from the West, like, from juniors, junior A, 100% better.
True. All right, we got to jump to our most. This is what we fight about the most here, boys. This is the Hart Trophy. All right, let's talk some Hart Trophy talk here. Based on the last voting rankings, if it were to happen today, Nathan MacKinnon would be first, McDavid would be second, Matthews would be third, and Kucherov would be fourth, and Hellebuck would actually be fifth. I'm not so unhappy that Kucherov is so low. I still firmly believe that McDavid is going to lead the lead in points at the end of the year. I think he's going to come back and take it. But I just want to say this is against Austin Matthews, because I just can't say, like, yes, 70 goals is unreal. It is an absolutely incredible feat. I do not want to knock that if he gets it. But this was just last week. Okay, Connor McDavid had more assists than Austin Matthews had points this year. He had 81 assists and Matthews only had 80 points. Like, you can't give the Hart Trophy to a guy who has less points than someone has assists. That just can't that can't be a true thing. Even if he scores more goals, 10 or 15 more goals than anyone else in the league, it'll be an incredible feat. But if he's looking to be like 70 points behind McDavid at the end of the year. Can we really give a guy who's 70 points behind the league leader the best player in the league trophy?
Probably not.
Like,
Buddy, he sure as shit ain't winning the Art Ross, though. Let me tell you that for free. He's 7 behind right now as this is being recorded. He is 7 points behind the number 2. Nope.
You know what, though? To me, also, Austin Matthews, he's not a guy that's going to help your team when you need them to, or when they need you the most. He's not that guy.
Yeah.
I think he cracks under pressure. You know, he does get his goals. He's probably one of the better goal scorers, but he doesn't.
Come playoff time, him and Mitchie go on vacation early.
Yeah.
Here's my argument. You should give it to the guy who does not take one night off, all right? Guy who has absolute heart and hustle, in his game. You got a guy in Nathan MacKinnon. He's the only second ever player in a season to have 2 18-plus games of separate different point streaks at home. Only the second player ever behind Wayne Gretzky. Now that is a guy with heart and hustle who should win the MVP award. And he's also breaking Avalanche records. And he is also just behind 1 point, I think, now for the Art Ross, which is currently being led by Kucherov. So
I don't know if I have this stat. It was something stupid. It was for away points. I don't know if I have it here. But Kucherov on the road, his points on the road were like 45 points ahead of MacKinnon, who was second in points on the road. Now, MacKinnon dominates him at the home points. Yes, that's for sure. Like, I'm not saying this makes Kucherov better, but his road points were absurd. I was like, how the heck is he scoring so much on the road?
And this is a
but
guy who plays at a mile-high altitude, okay? That most guys are normally gassed at, all right? And then when he comes back to sea level to where most cities are being played, he'll just dominate you. He'll just dominate you.
It gives you a huge advantage playing at the high altitude all the time, and then you come down and you feel like you can breathe.
And he'll just gas you. He's too fast. He's one of the fastest skaters on average this season because of that. The amount of adrenaline, the amount of training, and the amount of exertion that your body goes through to play at that level. And it's almost like it gives you a slight bit of advantage away.
True.
But even at home, it still sucks playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're used to it. If you live in Colorado, you're used to it. Like, you get used to it within a month. You don't notice the difference in the air pressure anymore because you live in it. It's just your reality.
You've acclimated yourself to it. Yeah.
Exactly. Dude, I saw this stat too, and Kucherov must have heard me because he's gone dummy this last week. But from February 6th, Kucherov had 85 points and McDavid had 68. On March 14th, just over a month later, Kucherov had 107 points and McDavid had 106. David had 38 points in just over that month, while Kucherov only had 22. That's why I think McDavid just has that ability to turn the next page and just be that much better. Now Kucherov, he basically just flipped in the middle finger and got 15 points in 3 games and said up yours, buddy, I'm just as good. But I don't know how many points he has tonight. He got 1 last night. I'm gonna look. How's he doing right now? 2-2 versus Anaheim? That's tough, boys. No points. He has no points right now. So
McKinnon's still, I think, 1 or 2 points behind Kucherov as we stand right now. McKinnon's still hot on his tail. He's not going to let him go down without a fight.
Yeah.
I think this year between McDavid, McKinnon, and Kucherov is going to be one of the most tightest Art Ross trophy races that we have seen in recent memory.
True.
One of the best, I think.
These three, we'll probably never have another year where 3 players are this dominant like this.
Just happens for the next 10 years.
They're all 45 years
Imagine.
old, still leading the league. Mario Lemieux hears this, comes back again. Leads the league in scoring.
Third time.
Yeah, third time, comes back. Side news, the NHL, NHLPA, and Corey Perry have reached a resolution on his contract termination. He never filed a grievance, and so they're not going to discuss any of the details of the settlement. The key in this case is it cannot be used as a precedent for any future termination conversations. The Players Association wanted to make sure guaranteed contracts will be protected as much as possible. So Perry got something. Obviously, that means that what he did definitely was not a fireable offense in the eyes of the NHL. It warranted, whether it warranted, major discipline but not termination, or it warranted needing to go to like rehab or something, or their NHLPA assistance program. Whatever they felt it warranted, it didn't warrant that he needed his contract terminated, and they did obviously compensate him somehow for what happened in Chicago. Whether he was right, he was wrong, we don't entirely know the story. Just he's getting compensated at the end of the day, which is what the NHLPA is there for. That's why they say it's the best players association in all of pro sports. Little tough news. Don't want to hear this coming out of prospects. I think I just saved another one today, actually. Columbus Blue Jackets prospect Jordan Dumais has been suspended 5 games for an alleged DUI. I think he got kind of lucky, only getting 5 games.
I'm surprised that wasn't even like a contract termination or dropped rates or something.
Exactly. I mean, it could have been way worse. Who did I see today? Someone today. Oh no, it was a football player, Trevor Etienne. He just got arrested on 4 counts of DUI and something.
Right, the brother of Travis.
Yeah, that's what it was. I knew I saw someone else get arrested. Here we go. Talking about the 2025 draft, we have is it Michael Misa?
Yeah.
Michael Misa. Oh, it went to the top on me. He's the 3rd fastest exceptional status 15-year-old to reach 50 goals, I believe, in the OHL history.
Behind other exceptional status players such as John Tavares, Connor McDavid, Connor Bedard, Sean Day, Shane Wright.
Oh, poor Sean Day.
Love Sean Day. Ex-Windsor Spitfire.
Current Syracuse Crunch Tampa affiliate.
Current NHL bust.
They signed Sean Day, and I was like, oh man, Sean Day is going to get a shot in the NHL. Yeah, we've called up 7 defensemen this year. Not one has been named Sean Day. That tells you where he is. We called up Hayden Fleury. We called up Philip Myers. We called up Max Crozier, Emil Lilleberg, Declan Carlisle, Jack Thompson. Maybe it was only 6. But either way, no Sean Day in that group of guys. And it's like, dude, you were brought in to like maybe make the team out of camp, and you're not even a call-up.
Dude, there was too much hype around him that just went nowhere. Like, I'm sorry, it went nowhere. Like, his days in Mississauga and his days in Windsor, like, no, too much hype for nothing.
Well, he was good when he was young, but if he, like, and I don't want to knock him, but this trend continues in the NHL where if you've noticed, he's never really been a slim guy. He's always been a little bit overweight for an NHL player and for an OHL player. And I think he just got slower and he got slower and he got slower because when you're hyped up that much as a kid, it is really hard to turn your brain on to say, I need to be better when everyone is telling you you're the best. It's really hard.
Don't get me wrong.
I need to be better.
Like, he's a great hockey player. Like, he came in clutch for us right there, 2017. Yep. That's why he got traded, to help us win against a stacked Erie Otters OHL champion team. But beside the point, Sean Day just...
Your hate for McDavid goes back so long. I forgot about that. It goes back to the Erie Otters. Oh my goodness. Sorry, continue.
Dude, Erie's a big fucking rival of Windsor, man. What do you think this is? Think I just hate McDavid because it's McDavid? Come on, buddy.
Yes. Because he's not McKinnon.
Buddy, if McDavid was on Colorado, I could just imagine the love you would have for him right now.
The way that you hype up Durant to me, you would be like that with McDavid.
Buddy, though, when you have Bednar needs to stop playing him on the third line, bring him back to the first line, and Drum will keep proving him wrong that he needs to be playing with Mac. Okay, these guys were junior teammates that won it all for Halifax, dude, and he's just 3 times today. The two of them have just set each other up nonstop for a snipe. Okay,
Dude.
they need to start playing them more. First power play unit, first line, get her fucking done. You guys will win more games.
We can almost not count on 2 hands how many years ago that was. 2 hands. All right?
11.
2013.
11.
Yeah, so
almost 2 hands.
You can't talk on 2 hands. How many years it's
Buddy,
been.
this is an ex-Lightning we're talking about, though. You guys wanted him third overall.
He's a trash can.
Not no more.
He
Technically, he's still
Tampa.
playing, but Sergachev's not.
He came into Tampa, our 3rd overall pick. And the year before him, we drafted Kucherov in the 2nd round. In 2 years, Kucherov not only took his roster spot, proved he was more worthy than him, and got him traded for a Russian friend for Kucherov to have in Sergachev with Vasilevsky as well. Like, Durant, he got kicked out of Tampa. He did not get moved because it was a smart asset. They were so tired of using him and his whiny behavior and not wanting to be scratched and refusing to play in the minors that they just shipped him off for Sergachev, which was a great deal for Tampa. And then all he's had ever since, which, not trying to talk bad on it, but is mental health problems. And it's like, well, dude, if you just worked hard at 18, you probably would be farther along now at 28.
Let me remind you that in 95 games, he scored 113 or 213 points in the QMJHL. You guys were going to be getting a stud out of him.
Does he even have 219 NHL points? In 10 years? Like, I don't know if he does. Like,
buddy, no need to roast my boy like that.
We were just talking about Robertson hitting 300. I don't think Durant's hit 300.
Well, he's
as a 3rd overall
right
pick.
now.
Okay, he's probably close. I'm looking him up. What has he got? Like, yes, I'm sure he's over 300, but he's not at 5. There's no way he's at 5. So 95 games, he had 200 points, you said?
He's got 327 points career-wise in the NHL.
327. So he isn't even at 350. And how many games does he have played?
553, brother.
Well, there's his missing 200 points from junior. Right there. Like,
well, actually, let's add the first season. In 33 games, he scored 29 for Hallie.
If he didn't deserve to be bashed, I wouldn't bash him. Like, we took Vlad Nemesnikov 27th overall. He has been not one bit of a stud NHL player. But he worked hard. He never cried about it.
That's what you get when you draft a London Knight.
Fine. That's fine. He's playing good for Winnipeg. Like, you know, it doesn't matter. When you're a guy who makes the league, look at Josh Hosang. He's a rapper now. Like, he's walked all the way out of the NHL. So
is Landon Hoylett of the Vancouver Giants. He just put out another album.
Yeah, like,
that's insane.
But like, Josh Hosang,
Calgary Hitman.
Hosang notably had attitude issues. As soon as he got drafted by the Islanders, he thought he should have been in the NHL.
Oh, he thought he was hot shit for the Windsor Spitfires, and look where that got him. Got him traded to Niagara.
Exactly
for Hayden McCool.
What happened with Jonathan Drouin. It just so happened that he was actually good because he was literally just holding on to McKinnon's coattails the whole time. As soon as he was not with him, not a good player. All he did in Tampa was skate with his head down and get rocked.
Okay, but we're here present day now, though. You have to respect the fact that the 1-2 punch in them are killing it. And this is what I'm getting at. Now that he's in Colorado Avalanche, like, you got to respect the man. He's having a renaissance, which means rebirth in his career. So
because he's just
Be
over
happy.
a point per.
So his career is literally relied upon McKinnon being healthy.
Yeah, he's just over half a point
McKinnon
per
buddy.
game this year.
McKinnon gets a season-ending injury or surgery, dude. Junk, irrelevant. You might as well bench the kid.
If you looked at his points per game this year, it's probably like 0.6. Like 60% of the games he gets point in. That's not like McKinnon is getting 2 points a night, basically, and you're saying him and Durant are awesome, but then Durant isn't even getting like a half a point a game. So he is horrible.
Buddy, it's not all McKinnon. It's not all McKinnon. Buddy,
You're right.
Saskatoon 2013. Dakota's very own Calgary Flames defenseman Mackenzie Weegar was setting up Durant all fucking tourney long, buddy. All fucking tourney long. What just wasn't McKinnon? So there's so many other pieces that help him along the way. No matter if you're in fucking the Q, the AHL, the NHL.
Where's Colorado?
But it's confirmed that McKinnon's over 100 points right now.
Yeah, 100
and we just said Durant, right? And we just said Durant's at 40?
46.
It was 56. There's 56 points. McKinnon's got 121.
Points, there's a big gap there, buddy, where he's irrelevant.
Is it today they played? So today he got how many assists or points?
Not enough.
McKinnon got 3, and Durant got 3.
Durant got 3 points, all because McKinnon got points.
Yeah, they literally fed off each other all game.
Yeah,
down 4-0.
Durant is literally just holding McKinnon's hand through this right now.
Go back to their 6-point game. 6-goal game. Durant assists with McKinnon on Rantanen's goal, and then he finally doesn't assist anything to do with McKinnon, but he assists Makar. So, and he was the second.
Makar set him up tonight. Makar set him up this afternoon for the overtime winner, but McKinnon was the secondary assist. It was all Makar to Durant for that overtime winner against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Dude, all I'm saying is
not all McKinnon.
No, all I'm saying is if he wasn't such an idiot in the beginning of his career, more power to him. I would respect him so much more. But I don't feel sorry that he was all of a sudden having emotional breakdowns because his NHL career wasn't going well. You had Red Wings legend Steve Yzerman as your GM, and you were walking into his office when he said you're going down to Syracuse to get better, and you go, no.
When?
No. I don't want to. And then they send him to Syracuse anyways, and he didn't report. He didn't show up.
When?
Yeah. And then Yzerman is a no BS kind of guy, so he said, you think I give a crap I drafted you third overall, kid? See ya. And then where does he trade him to? The absolute
Montreal.
Desolate Iceland of Montreal.
No.
And they thought they were going to get an all-star, and what they get? A dud.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this guy's he's French. He can come back to Montreal. He can be good. Yeah, guess what? He needs mental help. That's where it landed him. And then he goes, now this year, he goes, Nate, please. Please bring me on. I need help.
When did he become Irish?
I wasn't doing Irish. Maybe it came through the speaker like that. But I was just doing like a poor me attitude.
Please, Nate.
Yeah,
revive my career.
Revive my career. And if he has 56 points this year, that means he only had 275 in his career. He literally has a quarter of his points in his career this year. And Nathan McKinnon has assisted at least 2/3 of them or scored 2/3 of his points. I don't know where we're coming from here. Take your time. I just don't get
56 points, buddy. 56 points.
But he only had 260 in 10 years.
Where's your argument, Dallas? Where is it, bud?
10 years.
We just went through the kid's life story.
56 points. 2013 Memorial Cup winner.
Oh, wow.
Reunited with his best friend and Nathan fucking McKinnon.
And that's the only reason why he's relevant. That's all we're getting at. He's getting carried. That's all we're getting at.
Dallas, he's in a fucking
Punch and
stroller
fucking
going
punch,
through
baby. Nathan
Walmart
McKinnon,
right
Jonathan
now.
Drouin. Let's fucking go.
He's in a
That's the only
stroller
reason. That's
getting walked through Walmart in Denver, Colorado. And McKinnon's like, "Do you want this? Here you go."
Can I get
You
an
want-
assist tonight, bro?
He's like, "Sure, son, you
Yeah,
can have
dude,
one."
I got you. Let me just carry you this season.
Yeah. Sure, I'm sure I'll get 4 points tonight, so I'm sure we'll let you get in there somehow.
Hey, Duran, buddy, I'm gonna make it so you get at least an 8 mil contract this season, bro. I don't know. We're gonna try to get you there.
And now
Well,
it's like,
thank you, Nate. But next year, dude, you're on your own.
well, right now he's looking at him like, dude, it's been 60 games. Like, I can't help you anymore. You don't even have a point per game. I'm at 2 points per game. Like, oh my goodness.
Please, Nate.
Y'all are out of pocket. Holy fuck.
Are
Y'all
we?
are out of pocket.
Are we? His career's
Pause.
off the rails, and then he ends up with his best friend again, and he actually somewhat scores goals at a slow
That's where
rate.
he should have been in the first place.
Or because they also have a fucking all-star in Makar, so he's gotta, double it.
Doubling up. Dude, like,
My guy, dude, he's literally like mom and dad are holding him, but like when you're watching parents at the beach with their kid and they're just swinging it, like
Yeah.
that's what Makar and McKinnon are doing with Duran's career right now, dude.
literally, they're just swinging him along the beach.
Here you go, Duran.
You know, like when they like pass it off, sometimes there's like Rantanen and Taser over there catching him on the other side.
Right? Like, playing hot potato with his career right now, like oh.
You know what? We'll talk in free
They're like,
agency.
Oh, do we let him get a point? Oh.
It's like playing mini sticks with your kid and you like fake dive. Oh, I missed it. Good goal, buddy.
Oh, Duran, you're done this season, buddy. You're not getting re-signed at all.
That's what I think. I bet you they let him walk. They'll be like, yeah, we need to pay other people.
Buddy. There's no prayer in how they're going to let him walk next season. He's on the 1 year right now. They're going to fucking sign him. Trust
Dude,
that.
One
Trust
year
that.
means it ends. Then he's gone. Dude, but here's he's on the first power play unit as a gift. The coach has him on the third line, which means he's not even in the top 6 forward. So the coach is like,
I need power play minutes.
Nathan McKinnon's like, hey, if you won't put him on my line, like at least let him play 2 minutes on the power play with me. Like, let's give him a chance here. He needs it. Like, oh man. Again, if the kid earned it, I wouldn't hate on him. He'd still be in Tampa. But he's not.
Don't be backtracking. Don't you fucking be calling him a fucking trash can.
That's what he was saying.
No,
Nate. Nate.
You wouldn't have Sergachev if it weren't for fucking Drouin.
Yeah. You're right, we wouldn't have. If Drouin was good,
guess who won that trade, my guy?
Tampa, head over everything.
Sergachev's been on one team since that trade. Drouin's been on 2.
Sergei's been hurt more than Drouin.
This is his first injury. Dude, Drouin hasn't play like a whole year because he was upset that he wasn't good at hockey anymore.
Probably not.
But you know who's having a better career than Drouin? The guy that went 6th that year.
Monty,
bud.
Buddy.
Probably the guy that went 5th too. Lindholm.
Okay, whoa.
By the time Monahan was 21, he had 3.
I'll respect the Monty comment, okay? But Lindholm, 4 goals in 15 games?
Elias Lindholm's over 500 career points.
Buddy, we're talking his stint with Vancouver right now.
And guess who didn't help him carry to that moment? McKinnon.
Because McKinnon's nuts.
And Duran's not, is what we're getting at. Like, that is the point we're trying to make.
There's no chirps on McKinnon other than Kucherov and McDavid.
Man, y'all are delusional.
Dude, you can't even say that with a straight face, dude. You know you don't have an argument.
Y'all are just fucking delusional.
Mac Dog. McKinnon, I need at least an assist tonight, bro.
How many Macs do you think he had on speed dial in the offseason? Like, McKinnon, McCarr, McDavid. Just
McDavid
calling
said
them
hell
all.
no.
Yeah, McDavid was like, "We're signing Connor Brown." We're like, "You're worse than Connor Brown."
It's like a catalog of all your ex-girlfriend's numbers, just speed dialing.
He's just looking for anyone that'll take him.
He's calling up Ehlers, Timo Meyer. He's like, boys, help me out.
Dude,
McKinnon's like,
literally,
"I'll-
Nico,
I
he's
still-"
sure all his ex-Moosehead teammates.
He called up Steve
Mackenzie
Yzerman.
Weegar even.
He calls up Yzerman. Yzerman's like, "Yeah, I got a spot in Grand Rapids for you." He just hangs up the phone.
Nah, you
Goes
are
back into the
wild, man.
program. Goes back into the program. Oh, poor Duran.
Yeah, poor
Not
Duran.
poor
He just absolutely fucking cooked the poor guy.
If it wasn't deserved, we wouldn't do it.
Dude, you flamed him into the next
Dude,
century with that.
He's
Like,
the
Dude,
Yarmo
next
Kekalainen of
if he
players.
gets re-signed, dude, watch him go. He's gonna slow down. McKinnon's gonna be just like, dude, you're dead weight, bro.
How many
gotta
games?
go.
He's been scratched a couple times this year. That means that they're like, he might not even be one of our 12th best forwards.
doubt that.
Well,
Buddy,
when he's scratched.
he's doing a lot better than fucking Jakub
Lately,
Trenin
he
and
has been.
Duhaime.
In that middle of the season, though, he was scratched like 4 times.
Do you know how many Colorado fans that are on those chat pages on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever? They absolutely go. Well, I wouldn't say absolutely.
Carried by McKinnon.
They respect the guy and they love him and they want him back next year.
Yeah,
They go
because you're
crazy for him.
Avalanche
He's a
fans,
great
and you have to
player,
be
good
worried.
playmaker.
You have to be worried if you say anything bad about him, he's just going to go take a mental health break again.
Buddy, I just tuned you out. You see this?
That's okay. That's exactly what Mac's going to have to do.
Buddy,
next year when Duran's crying, asking for a contract, he's going to be like,
Buddy, anytime that man scores another goal or gets an assist, I'm going to be sending you that one fucking during that 2013.
"Hey,
Yeah,
I will let you text me anytime."
So send the one that's without McKinnon or McCarr. Send that text, and I bet we'll see that maybe once rest of the season.
It's nothing major, but I will give you $10 if Duran scores an unassisted goal.
Okay.
Unassisted.
Virtual handshake.
$10. $10 for an unassisted Duran goal. And I'll give you like a loony or a toonie every time that he scores assisted not by McKinnon or McCarr. The rest of the season.
Buddy. I'm going to show up to work with a Duran jersey just to fucking rub it in your face, boy.
I hope he gets cement on it. And then it'll drag you down just like he does McKinnon.
Ouch.
Okay, let's move on. That was a great Duran positive conversation.
Yeah, for you. Just absolutely cooked my boy.
It was nothing about McKinnon. It's about how good McKinnon is that Duran is actually still in the NHL. That's where the chirp's coming from. This is something kind of funny though, because the Penguins announced that an entire shipment of Yager bobbleheads is gone missing.
Yeah, and fucking Gertie thought it was funny for him to say it was him.
I love that. Gritty is hilarious, man. Gritty is the best mascot in all sports. There's no doubt about that. He takes every opportunity to get in there and look like the bad guy. Dallas Stars put a statue up for Mike Modano, which was cool to see because he's obviously the best Dallas Star there ever was. So it's nice to see him get recognized with his statue. He leads the franchise. Where was he? Top several of the franchise all-time lists. So, good for him. Oshie hit 1,000 games for the Capitals. Corey Perry hit 900 NHL points. Yes. Go Corey Perry. Didn't think you'd get there, bud, after Chicago, but here we are. You're getting paid again, and you're getting points. It's good to see. You know what? Back to last year, I think it was the beginning of last year, it was such a roast. So, it was in Tampa. They're skating around the rink, and they were, talking about how many points they need to get to 1,000. It was like all the old guys. So Stamkos was like 61 points away, and Hedman was like 150, and some of the other guys, and then Corey Perry was like 180, and then Maroon was like 700. Just poor Maroon just got flamed.
Man, someone on TikTok tried saying Pat Maroon's a much better player than McDavid and McKinnon.
Okay, that guy's just looking for bait. Like,
Cups wise, he was like, because he wins 3, if that's what you're going off of. But everyone talks about McDavid's individual awards and his points, so which way do you want to swing, boy? The points or the team awards?
I mean, McDavid's still better than McKinnon, career-wise. Individual career-wise?
Individual, yes, points and, trophies. Team awards? No.
Yeah, but I said McDavid's better than McKinnon. I didn't say Edmonton's better than Colorado. Although if you go through history, Edmonton is better than Colorado.
Yeah, they have one more cup, yeah.
And Gretzky.
I don't know, man. Fucking Abs Nordiques have a pretty good lineup
too, dude.
Gretzky, the best player that ever lived.
Okay, bye.
This was crazy. I read this and I was like, that's whack. Matt Larkin reports from dailyfaceoff.com that Russian goalie Artemy Pleshkov sets the pro hockey world record with a 124 save game. 124 saves in a 1-0 quintuple overtime defeat. He made at least 10 saves in all 8 periods. He stopped 14 of 14 in the first, 15 of 15 in the second, 10 of 10 in the third, 11 of 11 in the first overtime, 17 of 17 in the second overtime, 19 of 19 in the third overtime, 18 of 18 in the fourth overtime, and 20 of 21 in the fifth and final overtime or the 8th period. He shut his opponents out. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Odds that kid dropped 50 pounds that game?
Oh, probably a ton. I kind of am sad that they didn't talk about the goalie that won, because I'm sure his stats were up there, and he probably has the longest game to get a shutout in history of hockey. 8 periods to keep a shutout in one game? That's got to be some kind of record. I don't even know who that is. But he had a shutout for 157 minutes before he surrendered the game's lone goal, which also eliminated his team from the playoffs in a 4-game sweep at the hands of AKM. So this guy just was like, I don't want to lose. Don't want to get swept. And then they got swept. But even in this game, final save percentage was 124 of 125 shots with a 992 save percentage. So, just crazy. But we had even more shocking news, which is we talked about these guys a little while ago, the UNB Reds, University of New Brunswick Reds. They were 30-0 in the regular season. They didn't stop there, boys. They did not lose a game this year. They went 38-0. They had a perfect season in the U Sports men hockey. They defended their national championship. They defeated the University of Quebec at Traverse Rivers 4-0 in the final. So they got a shutout anyways just to top it off. They went 5-0 in the playoffs. They won their 6th consecutive conference title. And then they swept through the national tournament with 3 more wins, not allowing a single goal in those games. Like, these guys just ran them over. And I did see something that says, don't be surprised if we see the coach of that team be the World Junior Championships coach for Team Canada next year.
True.
Because he's been such a dominant coach at the youth ages.
Or he could just grab a job in the NCAA.
He could. He might just be happy living in New Brunswick, though. If that's where he's from.
Yeah, it's pretty nice there.
Cool for the NHL. This is something I'm looking forward to out of the NHL meetings. This was per Chris Johnson. A couple managers mentioned the league has signed on to do a behind-the-scenes series with Amazon that will center around 10 to 12 star players, and it will be out in the fall. So we actually are going to get to see these guys in the rinks, probably at home, behind the scenes, and I think it's going to be pretty cool.
I can tell you who one of those players could probably be.
Yeah, probably McKinnon. You'll see Duran being held by the hand all season long, buddy.
They'll be like, Nate, when did you have a kid? 2013.
Oh.
Actually, I was going to say Jonathan Duran was going to be one of those 10 players, 10 to 13, but
He's not
Only because
old
of
you beat me
McKinnon.
to it.
He's not old enough.
Yeah, it's got to have Poppy McKinnon sign off on parent
Release
guardian
form.
form, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
Bring your kid to work day every day.
Every day.
Come on,
Bottom one of
Duran.
those-
Come on, Duran. Pass it to me, buddy.
This guy.
Oh man. This is never going to live down for you, Dally. I hope you know that. Your love for Duran.
I think he's
Best
a
thing is
great
if-
player.
Best thing is, man, if this all stuff aside, if he went to Edmonton and this exact same thing was happening, and because he was playing with McDavid, you would be like, guy's been trash his whole career, only good because he's with McDavid. You would literally say that. You'd be like, he's so garbage this whole career, and now he's with McDavid, and he's good. He's bringing out the dukes.
Probably not. Probably not, because he's still
Facts.
still a friend of Nathan McKinnon and Halifax Moosehead. So shut the fuck up. Buddy, he did the carrying.
Oh.
Him and McKinnon.
He carries McKinnon's groceries in the house. Oh
Like,
man,
buddy, part of his contract deal with McKinnon is probably he's got to carry his bags,
really carry his gear.
wash his jock.
Oh my goodness.
Down bad.
We had Wayne Simmons announce he retired, so good for Wayne Simmons, calling it a career. Then Ovi is joining more elite company players with 19 or more consecutive 20-goal seasons. We have Gordie Howe, Brendan Shanahan, and Alex Ovechkin. The only 3 players in NHL history with 19 consecutive 20-goal seasons. Speaking of the Oilers, they signed Jackson Unger to a 2-year entry-level contract.
I got something out of that, Riley. Sorry. Last night was a barn burner at the hangar in Moose Jaw. 11-1 thumping of the Regina Pats. Okay, Battle Saskatchewan. Buddy, Unger got into a fight with Regina's goaltender too, and it was a beatdown, that fight. Good old goalie fight.
I think that's this guy's brother, though. I think that's his brother. Because this guy, he's 22, and he plays for Brock Badgers in the Canadian University stream. So, but I think they're brothers.
Oh, maybe.
But yes, I
Okay,
did see that. That was baller. They were just
You know what's
throwing.
stupid? Is that... Oh, wait, I already told you about that. Never mind. But I was going to say, I posted a video of same thing, Moose Jaw, in that game. Jaeger Furcus scored a Michigan goal, okay, to make it what, I think, their 6th goal? Yeah, it got banned. It got violated TikTok's community guidelines because he scored a goal in Michigan.
Too dirty,
they don't allow tricks. They don't allow dangerous stuff, apparently, like hockey. But it's like, okay, but I see NHL on TNT posting fights, okay, and y'all don't ban them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupid. So I wanted to post the Unger fight, the goalie fight, but I was like, you know what? No, because they're probably going to just ban our account now. I did that too. So dumb. You know?
Yeah. Social media, man. Let us post our Michigans. TikTok. Where am I here? Elliot Friedman reported on Saturday. Okay, this is about Arizona. Upcoming land auction could decide whether the Coyotes remain in the state. The Arizona Land Department unanimously approved a $68.5 million appraisal for a portion of land in Phoenix, where the Coyotes hope to build. That means the land department can sell the land auction, but the date for the auction must be advertised for 10 weeks. While an exact date has not been set, that time frame puts it on track to not happen before late May or early June. I've been told multiple times this week, do not underestimate Arizona's ownership's willingness to do this and prove that it can do this. So, we'll see. We'll see if Arizona gets it. If not, the NHL, we know, like we already talked about, has backup plans. So, who knows? I should have added this to Ovi too. He also just joined the 1400 game club with only Ryan Suter and Brent Burns as the active players to do that. Oh, here's my Gavin McKenna stat. I was wondering where it was. I thought I had a picture of it. But most points by a 16-year-old WHL skater over the last 30 years. Bedard 100, Gavin McKenna 92 with 2 games remaining. I don't know what he's at, if he scored more or not. But no one else in history has ever hit 72 points. So Bedard and McKenna are just light years ahead of everyone else.
And McKenna wears number 72, so...
Yes. Oh, man. Dude, this is a new rule. I love this rule. This is going to be so
Probably not.
sick for the NHL. Fair enough. Duran's going to love this rule because it's going to let him and McKinnon play more power play.
You're So
So,
don't worry, Dakota. On the randomizer, I got Colorado for the what was it? Oh, game day reviews.
yeah, game day reviews.
Riley pulled Colorado for me, so just I'm saving it. I'm saving it for my little chit chat for the Colorado Avalanche there, buddy.
It was weird when I did the randomizer. It came up Colorado, Nathan McKinnon Daycare Center, occupancy, Jonathan Duran. It's okay. You can talk about it then. But this will benefit Duran if
I
he's
gotta
still
flame
in the
you,
NHL.
man.
If he's still in the NHL. So both puck over the glass, delay of game, and high sticking can both be coaches' challenges. However, if you lose the challenge, not only is the original penalty upheld, you get an additional minor, so it's an automatic 5-on-3. So that's where Duran is going to be looking to be on that 5-on-3 with McKinnon. I'm open, Nate. He's like, I can see there's no one else on the ice. It's a 5-on-3.
Man, you just love looking at me for a good reaction, aren't you?
I do. Oh,
I do.
only with Duran, only because your love for Duran is just so wrong. like,
What's wrong with that?
like you're liking their friendship. That's fine, but saying he's a great NHL player or good NHL player, even an okay NHL player, is like it's stretching the limits of just his reality. Guy's gonna hit 1,000 games before he has 500 points. Like, that's just crazy. McKinnon's gonna be at 2,000 points by the time he hits 1,000 games. Not realistically, but like. Chris Peters. This is a guy who covers college hockey. His Hobie Baker top 10. Jackson Blake, North Dakota, drafted by Carolina. Macklin Celebrini, Boston U, this year's draft. Jack Devine, Denver, drafted by Florida. Cutter Gauthier, Boston College, drafted by Anaheim. Colin Graff from Quinnipiac, undrafted. Lane Hudson from
Drafted
Boston
by Philly.
University. Colin Graff?
No, Cutter Gauthier, bud.
Oh, sorry, you're drafted by Philly, but it says, affiliate NHL team Anaheim. Sorry.
Scrub.
Thank you. Yep, that's what I meant. I appreciate your honesty. Lane Hudson, BU, Montreal. Cal McClellan, Wisconsin, undrafted. Liam McClinsky, Holy Cross, undrafted. Sam Morton, Minnesota State. Calgary. Will Smith, Boston College, San Jose. And this
Will
is
Smith is going to be nuts for the Sharks.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be so good. If they get Macklin Celebrini, because they're on the same team right now, aren't they? Oh, no, they're on different teams. BC, BU. That'd be crazy, having them both in San Jose.
Not as good as Duran, though, baby.
You know that's not true. Celebrini is the first 17-year-old ever to be nominated for the Hobie Baker Award. He would obviously be the youngest to ever win it if the vote goes his way. Now, let's just compare here, because I don't even think Duran would be voted for the Hobie Baker as an NHL player. If he was in college. Like, you can't even say not as good as Duran. Like, he would go down to college and they'd be like, don't think he's one of the top 10 best players in this league. Yeah, but I scored 56 playing with Nate. I can't. Oh, that's good. Celebrini is also the fourth player to win Rookie and Player of the Year in the same season, joining Eichel, Correa, Leach. No, it doesn't say Duran. Not bad company. No, that's pretty good. Yeah, being only the fourth player to do that. Eichel, Correa, and Leach. I mean, all elite NHL players. Eichel, not so much until now. Eichel was like Jonathan Duran, and then he actually decided to get good.
Was Johnny Gaudreau on that list?
No, because he wasn't a rookie and Hobie at the same time. San Jose Sharks signed Akeem Aliu.
Huh? I thought he was for a sec. I was just thinking.
No, he won it when he was a junior, I think. Third year.
I'm pretty sure Gaudreau's a 2-time Hobie Baker winner, though.
Yeah, he won it sophomore and junior, I think. And then you guys signed him before he went to his senior season. Yeah, but Sharks signed Akeem Aliu. So Greer confirmed today he's signing Aliu to an AHL tryout deal. He said, we wanted to give him an opportunity to see what he can do. So, good for Aliu getting his chance to come back. It says he was playing in Czechia. I just want to throw this out there, but isn't that where Bill Peters is coaching? Like, he got Bill Peters fired and Bill Peters went to Europe and now he's in Europe where Bill Peters is?
I have no idea.
Me either.
Not sure, boss.
Bill Daly, when asked whether the NHL's viewpoint has changed with additional medical studies that show definitive link between CTE and repetitive blows to the head, no, Daly said. I think the science is still lacking. That's from Frank Cervalli. And then this was Rick Westhead. Rick Westhead has been the guy who's really kept up on the 2018 World Junior scandal and all that. So he's been really good with all these legal stuff. So he comes in and continues on Frank Cervalli and says, in the 1990s, after thousands of studies had established that cigarette smoking was linked to cancer, top tobacco company officials belittled the research, suggesting the subject may merely merited further investigation. In 2022, the U.S. National Institute of Health publicly confirmed that CTE is caused by repetitive traumatic brain injuries. So he's basically saying, John Daly saying, no, I think the science is lacking. But in 2022, it literally says, due to repetitive traumatic brain injuries, the U.S. National Institute of Health confirmed CTE is caused by that. So he's just calling him out like, what do you mean, Daly? Science, like it's been confirmed by the highest national association for brain trauma.
Yeah, Bill Daly's out of pocket with that one.
And I like Bill Daly, but yeah, he was not there on that one. More Ovi. Lots of Ovi this episode. He's finally 50 away from the great one. He's less than 50 now.
47.
A couple more. But he's been on an absolute tear. People thinking he won't do it next year. He scored something like 16 goals in his last 22 games. Like,
dude, wait till season.
That's like 57 goals.
Wait till next season when every 31 other NHL rinks are going to up their prices when the Caps come to town because they might be the lucky ones to witness it, right? So,
yep, true.
$200 hike.
I missed this when we were talking about Tortorella. Brandon Dubinsky called him out on social media. Said, Torts, your tactics are getting old. Instead of scratching and embarrassing your captain and one of your best players, how about you try and tell him I'm giving you 20 minutes tomorrow night no matter what? Power play MPK and go play free and have fun and fucking get it done. From Brandon Dubinsky. A long-time player of Torts.
In Columbus.
I have the Yotes proposed arena here next, so I'll put those photos in when we were talking about it earlier because they were leaked, which it looks pretty cool if this is what they get to do. So hopefully they do. The NHL, what'll it be? Like NHL 40, NHL 2040 will have another tough guy added to the league because Brady Tkachuk is having a baby with his wife Emma. So in about 2040, that guy's kid's going to be in the NHL just knocking heads just like him and Matthew are. Hopefully they make 3 generations make it to the NHL. That'd be pretty cool. Kopitar, 1,200 NHL points. See, like that's what I'm talking. When I say Robertson already has 300, we look at Kopitar who only has 1,200 after so many years. Like that's where I was so stunned that Robertson only had 300 points.
And you know what else?
What?
Nothing. I was just gonna make a Duran joke.
So
I was gonna
does
say,
Duran.
well,
You can't even say it.
no, I was gonna say by the time McKinnon has 1,200 points, Duran will have 300.
True.
Oh,
Well, at least
I'd already say 8 point.
For the Flames, honestly, this is the best news possible, and not for the Dan Vladar. Sorry, Dan, but he needs season-ending hip surgery, and he'll be ready for next season. But the fact that they kept Markstrom, and now they get to play Wolf the rest of the year, kind of the best news for them, because keeping Wolf in the minors the rest of the season would have been such a detriment to his development. So now you trade Markstrom in the offseason, bring back Vladar, and have Vladar and Wolf start next year. Although a hip surgery for a goaltender, that's tough. Especially for a backup, he might not come back to be NHL caliber.
Yeah, and he's got like what, 2 more years, 3 more years after?
2, I think. I think. Kucherov has hit the 120-point mark in 68 games. Only Yager, Bossy, and Yari Curry are the wingers to do it in a faster time. And now I think Nathan McKinnon has joined him this year. So McKinnon is now tied with Joe Sakic for the all-time lead in Avalanche points.
No, he passed them.
History. Is he at 121?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he passed him. Awesome. So he's the sole leader of their team. Kucherov's up to 81 assists this season, making him the 7th player in NHL history with at least 3 80 assist seasons. He joins Gretzky, who did it 14 times, Lemieux 6 times, Bobby Orr 5 times, Paul Coffey 4 times, Adam Oates 3 times, and Denny Savard 3 times. So Kuch is up there with Adam Oates and Denny Savard in the assist game. And Johnny Quick tied for the winningest U.S.-born goalie in NHL history with 300.
With Ryan Miller.
So 2 great goaltenders. One with 3 Stanley Cups and one with none, though, for Ryan Miller. All those games and no wins. All right, relative to the area news, we have a team in the KIJHL Junior A League moving from Summerland. The Summerland Steam are moving to Williams Lake to become the Mustangs. So we'll see how this transitions. Typically, small teams in the KIJHL do not do as well just because, players can choose if they want to play there or not, if they want to live there. But a team like the 100 Mile House Wranglers have been fantastic over their tenure in 100 Mile, which is just down the road from Williams Lake a couple hours. So could see this team be pretty good if they work out.
Well, I think it was just geographically the best case scenario for this team because now it just sets up an actual regional rival for 100 mile. Like in the Caribou Chicolton region, like they didn't have a rival. What are you gonna do? Drive down to frickin' Princeton to play the Posse, or drive down here to Kamloops to play the Storm? Now they actually have a geographical rival in the same region in the Williams Lake Mustangs, and it's been 15 years. So I think it'd be great. I think they'll be all right in Williams Lake, in the
Like
puddle.
my grandparents lived in Williams Lake for a lot of my childhood, so I would have played there. I wouldn't have made it, but I would have. I'm like Duran. I need someone better than me to help me out.
Well, and I mean, I went to a couple winters ago. I was in a Tim Hortons, and they had a big plaque of Carey Price because 2 hours west, up in Anaheim Lake, you know, that's where Carey Price is from. So I thought, Williams Lake has quite a few tributes to Carey Price, which is kind of cool. Little fact.
Didn't see if he's a part of the ownership group, but he could be. I think it would be bigger news if he was, but he could always
Yeah,
buy in. Hearing the team is there, he could want to buy in and support that team. I could see that.
for sure.
Um, One of the stupidest suspensions I've ever seen, which was deserved, is Tom Wilson in his 6-game suspension. I think he should have got more. Noah Gregor is just skating away, and Tom Wilson just swings his stick at his face from behind him. Like, one of the stupidest non-needed things I've seen. And then Wilson, grabs him and hugs him. And he's like, oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry. It's like, dude, the puck was nowhere near, and you were just straight to the face. And he only got 6 games. I'm surprised he only got 6 because
because he's
blatant.
a repetitive offender. So
I think it was only because Gregor literally said it was fine after the game, like he didn't care. But I don't know. I'd be like, that guy's such an idiot if I was in an interview. We have this note here from NHL Stats. I have an infographic. It's hat tricks galore in 2023. The 2023-2024 campaign marks the 12th in NHL history to feature 100 plus hat tricks in just the second time since 1993-94. The last one was 2021-2022 with 102 hat tricks. So the NHL offense is, as we know from people's points, is ramping up more and more, but more and more 3-goal games. And did you guys see Milano's the other night? His goal?
the one
Sonny
where he
Milano,
just
yeah.
batted over the head.
Yeah, where he just tips it over the goalie. Oh, that
Mhm.
was beautiful. We have Zach Hyman score 50 goals for the first time in his career. Talk about a guy who takes advantage of the guy he's playing with. Zach Hyman. Not Nathan McKinnon, but Connor McDavid. I hate that their names are both Mick. It's so easy to screw them up.
Oh, buddy, Mick and Mac. There's the name there, buddy.
McKinnon, McDavid, it's pretty darn close.
McKinnon. Not McKinnon.
I dare you to say his name every time. Be like McKinnon. Every time.
McKinnon.
Does that just mean like McKinnon?
McKinnon. Duran. Jonathan Duran.
We finally also have one of the best movies coming back from one of Dallas's least favorite movie creators. Happy Gilmore 2 has been confirmed by Adam Sandler.
Oh,
it will be out in 2026. Hey, you did ask for his earlier movies to come back. So here we go. He is
True to my word.
officially making
On
Happy
Netflix.
Gilmore 2 on Netflix.
Yep.
So people were saying Billy Madison should come back and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know if he can do those anymore. Like, that just kind of breaks the social what people are happy to see. Waterboy, Billy Madison, that type of stuff. I don't know. All right, we got 2 segments here. End the day. Game day reviews, Battle of the Tarps. We got Dallas talking about Colorado, Dakota, Montreal, me, Buffalo. This will end our game day reviews because the playoffs are so close. We've been through every team in the league now twice, so it'll now be the playoffs after this. So this will be our final game day review of the 2024 season. Go ahead, Dallas. Let's hear Colorado. No, nothing.
Do I even want to?
I don't know. You're staring at me like Duran does at an empty net. Doesn't know what to do. No, but go ahead. Talk about it. Talk about the actual Colorado team. Like, they are doing well this year. They're performing above expected.
Let's talk about post-trade deadline, all right? I'll just start with that. Shawnee Walker, okay? Guy's been actually pretty good for him. He's got 3 goals and an assist. He had a goal today. To start, they were comeback against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were down 4-0 today, Colorado. And Shawnee Walker got them started with a beauty. And then the other 3, not even to mention. The other 3 I'm not going to mention to get them within tying. But yeah, Jakob Trenin, Brendan Duhame actually got his first as a half today, which is pretty cool. Bowen Byram, ex Avalanche, has been fitting in quite well with the Buffalo Sabres, so very happy for him. Miss him dearly. Wish he were back. And I mean that genuinely, by the way. Love Bowen Byram.
That's like Duran's love note. Wish you were back. I mean that genuinely.
Look at this photograph.
Exactly. Just playing Nickelback, holding the speaker up. Sorry. Continue on.
Best Colorado acquisition of the year. Jonathan Drouin getting signed to that 1-year deal. And I mean that. Because you fucks hate him. Georgiev, him and Thatcher Demko have been going back and forth all year of who's going to win the most games. I think it's going to be a clear-cut choice now with Thatcher Demko being out for injury. Georgiev, he's almost pulling a Kippersoft, okay? He's playing a lot of freaking games in the season. He's an Iron Man out there, backstopping the Colorado Avalanche. And my last thing is that I think that it's tough because Winnipeg and Dallas and Colorado are all tied for first in the Central. Like, it's a bloodbath, so it's hard to say if they're going to win, be crowned the Central Division champs. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, it's going to be a tough test this playoff, so we'll see. They feel confident in their trade, so we'll see. Casey Middlestat's been kind of teetering. I mean, I don't know if he's quite fit in yet, but we'll see.
Go on, Montreal.
I think Montreal's a team that's winning not necessarily games, but draft-wise. You take a first round to take on Monahan's contract, and you receive a first round to get rid of him. They're clearly not in a win-now mentality. They got rid of, they got nothing other than their young guys that are, exciting to watch still. Suzuki, Slafkovsky's even having a decent year, I'd say. But yeah, a team that's not going to be doing too hot this year, I don't think they're in a playoff spot. They're pretty low,
they're
yeah.
7th, yeah. But I will say this about Montreal. They do some of the best asset management. We've talked about this a couple times. The Monahan situation, like you said. But honestly, their best asset management has to be letting Jonathan Drouin walk for absolutely nothing in the summer to get him off their team. Oh, the fact that Montreal, I just thought of that when I was like, oh, it's Montreal. Oh, hey, you know what? He went to Colorado for you there, Dally, so he could, sniff McKinnon's jock and stuff, so that's good.
Buddy, not because he's an Avalanche that I've respected him. I've respected him long before he was an Avalanche because he was Nathan McKinnon's buddy and, they've won championships together.
You said Nathan McKinnon's bitch wrong. Sorry, I just thought I'd correct you there.
What's that?
Nothing.
Okay, let's get on.
You ever watch Looney Tunes? The Michael's Secret Stuff. The bottle that Bugs Bunny. Yeah, like McKinnon's probably got a bottle that's Mac's Secret Stuff that Duran's just chugging down, dude.
but it's also like it's literally like a mix of that and then South Park's butter secret sauce. Have you seen that? Actually, I barely
don't think
watched.
I've
That's
seen
the
that one.
only South Park reference I know, but it's you know what it is. It's literally butter secret sauce, and he sells it as a sports performance drink. And then it comes out as to what it is, and everyone like freaks out that they've been drinking this stuff.
Oh,
So that's
poor
what it's a mix.
Duran.
Yeah, poor Drew. But yeah, I got Buffalo. Yeah, Bone Barm. Damn good pickup. I like that.
Oh,
He's really good for them.
Buffalo
Uh,
fleeced Colorado.
And
but
they beat Calgary tonight.
yep. But it's still a loss. Like Buffalo was supposed to take one of the spots in the East, and they wouldn't be in a playoff spot in either of the divisions. Like, I don't even think they'd be a playoff spot in the West. They're so bad. There's nowhere that they decided to be a playoff team this year, just like Ottawa. Those two teams and Detroit are supposed to make a difference this year, and they didn't change a thing. So, L on the season for them. All right, let's finish her up here, boys. We got Battle of the Tarps. We have away jersey from the MJHL Portage and the home jersey for the AJHL Grand Prairie Storm. First off, these jerseys are very hard to find pictures of for updated current ones. It is a stretch to get some. But we have the Portage white jerseys with green shoulders, green circle logo that says Portage on the top, Terriers on the bottom in it, and then it has a Terrier in the middle. They had a way cooler jersey that was just a T that said Portage and the Terriers going down in the T of Portage. Such a cool jersey. That was last year's, apparently.
They remind me of the
And then
Dallas Stars away jerseys.
Yeah.
That's what I was
I
just
think
thinking. It almost looks like a Dallas Stars versus Boston Bruins type.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Storm, the Storm remind me of the yellow and blue, dark blue Buffalo jerseys, to be honest.
That's a blue?
It's a blue, yeah, it's not a black, it's a dark blue. And
Oh.
yeah, I don't know. They're okay. The logo, being a Storm, we have the Kamloops Storm. I think the Kamloops Storm's logo is better. I think the Kamloops Storm's jerseys are better. But for me, this one was kind of a toss-up because they're both kind of plain. But I think I'm going to go with Portage because I like the green. That's literally where I'm going. I like the green. And the dog. We'll vote for the dog. Dog and the logo. Always a win.
Yeah, I was just gonna say myself, fucking Portage myself as well.
Let's make it 3 for 3. I like Portage's retro logo. On a side note, with the big T and it just says Portage Terriers on it with the hockey stick and the dog. But then their current aways, like I said, they look like Dallas's away jerseys, but they're still pretty clean, the white and the green. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sweep it. Just say Portage.
Perfect. And then we have our episode 26 March round robin number 1 winner, which was the Nipawin Hawks. So they have advanced and they will verse either Portage or Grand Prairie. And then we finally have our February Tarp final. It is Ilves versus the Vienna Capitals. So we will have a vote on that and make sure that all these get out there for the polls to vote to see which one will be the February Tarp final and which one will win this week's round robin for March. Other than that, though, that's everything for Game Day Tarps Podcast episode 27. As always, thanks everyone for listening. Like Dallas mentioned, please subscribe. Give us some comments. Give us some feedback on what you think as well. Like this video. Follow us on all social medias and listen anywhere you get your podcasts and on YouTube where this video will be up with pictures and everything. You can see us laughing at how bad Duran is and all that throughout this. So hope everyone has a great night.
You too.
Yeah, hope everyone has a great night, and we'll talk to you later.